Leon the Professional.
Ooh. Leon the Professional. This is an interesting one because it's oddly, I can't remember exactly, but I believe it's in the top 50 of IMDb's top 250 of all time, which is a pretty damn high ranking, and it was not nominated. This movie, I think, out of all the movies we've talked about for this subject, is probably the least popular.
It is.
But it's still on all the time. It's on TV all the time.
I think what hurts it too, and it's one of the few movies where one of the characters that you truly root for dies. It doesn't, even though
spoilers
to some extent
ahead.
Yeah, if you haven't watched the fucking movie,
it's old
that's
enough.
Over 20 years
yeah,
old,
it's old enough where you should know. It's your
your
own
fucking
fault for being bad at movies.
That movie is almost as old as we are. Catch up.
Yeah.
But it's one of the few movies that is an upper echelon movie, but one of the people that you are most invested in dies.
Well,
like it's technically a victory at the end for what he sets out to do, but the way they did it, and I think it's exceptional, is it doesn't feel like a victory.
Yeah, I mean, it's a well done movie because, again, it does a great dynamic between two characters, just like Training Day. It has, but it's more, it's just weird. It's kind of weird. It's kind of hard to watch because you don't know if it's going to get weird.
Yeah.
Like, you have Leon the Professional. It takes on this young Natalie Portman girl, who I forgot her name as a character, but the actor chose to change Leon to appear more mentally delayed.
Yeah.
Because if he was a fully cognitive person, it would have been immoral. Like, because there is sexual tension, and it's weird, it's hard to watch.
It does. Like, there's moments where you
age.
almost feel like, is this relationship between this fully grown man and this, 12-year-old girl going to somehow become more intimate? Which is a boundary, obviously, nobody wants to cross.
Yeah, and it makes you uncomfortable to think about, but it's a well done dynamic.
And when you think about it, it's really a key piece of the storyline because it really describes and creates that environment where this girl has gone through some tragic events.
Oh, yeah.
And that's forced her to, in some level, mentally become more of an adult, even at such an early age. And that creates a complexity in itself to the storyline.
Yeah, and I think that dynamic between those two is what makes it so much better of a movie, because if you take that out, if you make him strictly a father figure and not a friend who's someone that Natalie Portman she respects him so much and she wants to be like him, naturally she's very attracted to him, and he obviously is distances himself. But he wants her to be able to defend herself, and he wants to make her happy, not in the weird way.
No.
But, that dynamic is very deep, and it's something that is interesting to be explored. And if you take that out, and if it's just a father figure with a daughter, it's boring.
I think it hollows her entire character.
Exactly.
It takes away her validity.
It really does.
Because, like you said, she is obviously romantically feeling towards him, but he clearly has intimate feelings, maybe not the same feelings for her.
He wants to be more of a father. She wants to be more involved, is basically. But it's an interesting development.
And it creates a genuine feeling of confusion and emotion that reflects the entire film.
And it might make you uncomfortable to watch, but it's done very well. It's very interesting. It's great to watch her evolve. Her, especially for such a young girl. I know it's Natalie Portman, who now everyone knows is a very good actress. But she was 8 or something in that movie? She was incredible. Oh. That's one of the best child performances by far.
That puts the kid from Sixth Sense to shame.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, anyone can be a scared little kid. Jesus Christ.
I could have sat there for 2 seconds and held a straight face going, I see dead people.
There's ghosts.
Guess what?
Save
it turns out you're dead this whole time!
Spoilers! But Natalie Portman was incredible. We see her evolve so much from the start of the movie. Gary Oldman also is a really cool villain. He does villains so well. He seemed to be a big villain guy like when he was younger, and now lately he's becoming the good guy in most of his movies. He's like Gordon and shit. But he was a great villain. I hated him. Like, watching that guy in Leon the Professional, I fucking hated him.
Oh, yeah. When he finally dies at the end of the movie, I
were
wanted
like,
to punch
God.
like, I just wanted to spike a football. I wanted to do a dance.
Yeah. I mean, that movie really did a lot that we haven't seen before. I'm not a huge fan of the unrealistic combat. That usually doesn't do it for me, but it worked well in this movie because he's supposed to be like a legendary assassin. So seeing him level like 20 guys, you know, that's the style they're going for. Not usually. I like
that.
Really,
that would
really
be the
realism.
one knock on the film. That
Yeah.
I think that they still could have accomplished that same feat with more realism. Because, I mean, let's face it, there are people out there that we will never see, never know exist, that probably can do that to some level, not with the fake shit that they put in there for cinema value, but have the kind of skill set to handle a situation like that.
That actually brings up I think because of the time period of the movie, realistic action hadn't really become
it
popular
wasn't the flavor
yet.
of the week yet.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, people, that's a big knock. If something looks like, if something like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon came out now, I don't think it would even be close to relevant because everyone would be just standing there going, huh.
Yeah. Can you look up The Bourne Identity and see if that was nominated or any of the Bournes? Because that,
I will.
I mean,
I like how she looked at you. You said that, and then she looked at me like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Why do you think that the Bourne movies are so good?
They are exceptional.
It had so much influence. Ever since Bourne came out, action movies have been totally changed. That influence is undeniable. James Bond completely changed because of Bourne.
Yeah, that was the anti-Bond.
Absolutely. That killed the bullshit, like, fake Bond.
That was...
And brought back this awesome Daniel Craig Bond.
That was the anti-Bond that was everything Mission Impossible wished it could have been.
Yeah, Mission Impossible still kind of stayed ridiculous.
I like Mission Impossible, but they were trying to be the anti-Bond, and Bourne Identity just was.
I don't know if I want to argue that Bourne Identity should have been nominated for an Oscar.
I think the first one could be.
So were any of them? Was it up for any award?
It was up for the ASCAP award winner.
Okay.
The ASCAP.
The ASCAP.
Yeah, rocking the ass cap. Woo!
You get a hat which you can wear on your ass. Good
was
movie.
nominated for the Saturn Award by the Academy
Right.
of Science Fiction.
What year did it come out? I don't think we want to make this. We're gonna lose respect from our. They'll be like, are they really fucking arguing for this?
2002.
All right, so we'll keep this as an add-on to Leon the Professional. The Bourne movies changed action forever. Leon the Professional was not about action. Action was part of the movie, but it was not the focus.
No, it was all reserved to one part at the end, which I think was exactly how it should have been.
Yeah.
I mean, you spend all these time, you get hints and ideas of what this guy was in the past, and then you see it come to culmination with that one scene, which really finishes the picture of who he was right before, obviously, you know, he dies. But it does... Leaving out the fact that it was a little unrealistic in how they approached it, it was the perfect way to cap off his character before he is killed.
Yeah. This new cop who has a lot of principles, who wants to do good, he wants to be a good cop, and you have Denzel Washington, the experienced cop who